Hey everybody, today I'm going to teach you how to solve an acceleration problem. So let's read it. A 900 kilogram car accelerates from rest to a velocity of 22 meters per second in 7 seconds. What is the acceleration? Now normally I always want you to identify your variables first, but in this particular case I'm going to talk to you about the formula first because you guys haven't seen the acceleration formula yet. The acceleration formula is acceleration equals velocity final, or the final velocity. That's the velocity at the end of the problem. Minus VI, the initial velocity. That's the velocity at the beginning of the problem. And you take all of that and divide it by time. So let's go back and take a look at our problem again. We're looking for our variables, so we're going to underline anything with a number. A 900 kilogram car accelerates from rest to a velocity of 22 meters per second in 7 seconds. Okay, great. We've underlined everything. Let's identify our variables. We know from the formula we need to find initial velocity, the velocity at the beginning. We need to find final velocity, the velocity at the end. And we need to find time. So, 900 kilogram car. Is that going to be the initial velocity, the final velocity, or the time? Well, none of them. Kilograms is mass. We don't say, I ran so fast I was 900 kilograms. So that's a number that was put in there just to make your life difficult. That's going to happen. You have to learn to ignore them. Let's keep going. Accelerates from rest to a velocity of 22 meters per second. Meters per second. Now that's a velocity. Meters per second, that unit tells us its velocity. Is that the initial velocity at the beginning, or is that the final velocity at the end? It accelerates to a velocity of 22 meters per second. So that's the velocity at the end. It's the final velocity. So 22 meters per second is our final velocity in 7 seconds. And we know that seconds is time. So we're going to say 7 seconds. Well, it sure looks like we're missing the initial velocity. And it can be really tempting to come up here and just grab that 900 and shove it in there. But let's reread the problem. How fast was the car going at the beginning of the problem? A 900 kilogram car accelerates from rest. Rest. It was sitting still. Okay, when you're still, your velocity is 0. When you are stopped, your velocity is 0 meters per second. So we did have the initial velocity. It was just kind of hiding and we had to go looking for it. Let's take these variables and let's insert them into the formula. Acceleration equals final velocity, 22 meters per second, minus initial velocity, 0 meters per second. And we're going to divide that by 7. So now you're going to take your calculator. 22 minus 0, that's pretty easy. That's 22. So we have 22 divided by 7 equals, and our answer is 3.1428. It keeps going, it keeps going, it keeps going. Just a reminder, in physics, we always round to the second number after the decimal, the hundredths decimal place. So we're going to copy everything else up until that point. We're going to take a look at the 4. It might stay a 4, it might go up. The number right after it, 2, well, that's 4 or less, so this stays the same. Our answer is 3.14. And in physics, we never leave a number by itself. We always include the unit. The unit for acceleration is meters per second squared. I hope that helps you solve acceleration problems. Thanks.